From the second letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Whoever sows bountifully will reap bountifully. A piece of sound advice. Greetings, everyone. We find ourselves these days still in the throes of summer, but we definitely still find ourselves in these summer days, these very warm summer days, which means for a lot of people, days at the beach, long evening walks, outdoor barbecues, backyard barbecues. For some people, backyard barbecues. But I was made to remember something a few weeks ago when I was invited to an outdoor barbecue in the backyard. Some of you may remember that for many years I was stationed in downtown Boston, a parish smack dab in the middle of a sprawling urban area. All of my parishioners lived in condominium complexes, high rises. I didn't have too many parishioners who lived in houses, but they too loved to enjoy the days of summer. So I will never forget the very first time I was invited by a parishioner to a barbecue. I knew where they lived. I knew there was no backyard. They could have been having the barbecue in a parking lot, but I didn't think that would work out too well, so I was curious. I asked them if I could bring something. They said no. I brought flowers anyway. And I was off to my first barbecue in what was then my new parish, smack dab in the middle of the city. I arrived at their apartment. They asked me if I would grab the bowl of potato salad and bring it to the barbecue area with them. And I said, sure. And I did. I followed them up the stairs to the roof. The roof. The roof that was put together in such a way because they went somewhere and bought a lot of plants, shrubs, and trees. It looked like a backyard, but it was the roof. I was about to enjoy my first rooftop barbecue. And again, if you placed yourself in a certain angle, you would have thought perhaps you were in someone's backyard. I was amazed at how well they transitioned from backyard barbecues to rooftop barbecues. The transition was perfect. And I use the word transition because when we got to know each other a bit more, I was told that they grew up in a normal city with a backyard and that they needed to be creative when they moved to such an urban area. They transitioned beautifully from backyard to rooftop. We celebrate this day in our church the feast of St. Lawrence, a deacon, a man who knew Jesus and followed him. Now, it's a funny thing when we give ourselves over to following Jesus. We never quite know where he will lead. We have to allow the relationship to be deeply rooted in trust for him, because we never know when we will be asked to transition from one attitude to another, one virtue to another. We never know when we will be asked to let go of perhaps what we want to do or what we want to say and trust him enough. My friends, in a very real way, what propelled St. Lawrence is what the Lord invites you and I to look at this day. Unless the grain of wheat falls to the earth and dies, it remains just a grain of wheat. We need to allow his grace to help us live with the attitude that we live with a willingness to let go, to let go of perhaps a direction that we want to go in, trusting that His will be better. Each day we are invited to let go of fear, of worry, anxiety, anger, prejudice. Those are all the seeds that He asks us to let go of, so that when we do sow, and we sow through what we say to each other, what we do to and for each other, the seeds He wants us to sow, to use, to nurture, are the seeds that come from Him. Seeds of kindness, compassion, forgiveness. Boy, could our world use a little more forgiveness. And when you and I trust Him enough, those indeed are the seeds that we end up sowing. Those are the seeds that He gives to us every single day, asking us to sow them bountifully, to live with a willingness to put out into our world the seeds of love and kindness and compassion, with a promise. And you've got to love this about Jesus. He tells us that when we do put out into the world the love that we receive from Him, when we share that love, it will come back. We will reap bountifully, for with Him by our side, we will be making our world a better place, a kinder place, a more fruitful place for the gifts and the virtues that He longs to share. My friends, at some point today, you and I might be invited to sow a seed or two. When we live with an awareness of Jesus in our life, we can always make sure that those seeds are the seeds of kindness and grace that He willingly gives to us, so that we can willingly give them to one another.